Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. During the Town Hall and Results Fair held in Kumasi in February this year, we discussed our manifesto promises and the extent to which we have delivered on those promises. During that presentation, I did state that in the spirit of transparency and accountability, government would present to the country what we have done specifically in the area of infrastructure. Since then, all of us have had to contend with COVID-19, all its hardships, changes in our everyday lives, in order to save lives, and all its protocols. Today has provided us the opportunity to come back to you and to make this presentation in a largely virtual setting. I must say that this presentation is a very collaborative effort, coordinated by the Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation. And I would like to give thanks especially to the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who has asked that this work be done and pushed for us to get it done. I'd like to thank all the ministers who worked so hard to pull all the data together, the MMDCEs, and also to my technical team for their very, very hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just watched a short documentary which has tried to capture a broad outline of what this MPP government has done in the last 3.5 years or so under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It is clear from this video that what we have done in the area of infrastructure, as I am about to show, is massive for the first term of a government in the Fourth Republic. Before the 2016 election, the MPP conducted a comprehensive survey on the development of Ghana. The survey revealed profound challenges. Notable amongst them was the large infrastructure deficit, the constant constraint on our development, the uneven distribution across the country, and the widespread disparity in the urban and rural development. This study informed our 2016 manifesto in the area of infrastructure. In line with the government's agenda to ensure inclusive and accelerated development, our focus has been to provide infrastructure for all. That has been the focus, infrastructure for all. And our approach to infrastructure development in Ghana has been twofold. First, to provide the infrastructure for the infrastructure needs of the poor and deprived communities at the micro level, like water, toilets, clinics, electricity, markets, and so on. And many governments have ignored this historically. Second, our approach is to provide for the broader infrastructure needs of the economy at the macro level to drive economic growth. Infrastructure for all includes all amenities that people need in order to unleash the potentials for their growth in their communities, constituencies, and districts, and ultimately improve the conditions of everyday living. It also includes facilities and systems to support industrial and other economic activities. Given that we are in the age of the fourth industrial revolution, it is inevitable that we get on the transitioning of the Ghanaian economy from low to high productivity level driven by digitization, To enable us to do this, we have put in place the required soft infrastructure, a digital infrastructure, which in many respects may be even more important than the physical infrastructure that we are used to. This has not received much attention in our development process until recently. But today you have seen libation being poured digitally. And I think it tells you of things to come. So to accomplish our objective of delivering infrastructure for all, we have used some of the following vehicles, amongst others. Of course, the ministries, departments and agencies, the district and municipal assemblies, the development authorities under the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives. This is the ministry that is administering the 1 Million One Constituency Initiative, Zongo Development Fund under the Ministry for Inner City and Zongo Development. Our goal, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is to share with you what we have done within this broader understanding of infrastructure, the impact on households in the beneficiary communities, districts, regions, and what they mean in the broader context of our national development. The presentation is going to be driven by data on infrastructure collected from ministries, departments, agencies, metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. And so, to enable all Ghanaians, researchers, CSOs, students, to enable all Ghanaians have access to and interrogate the data that we have put together. We are putting all this data on a website. All that we are talking about, we are going to put it on a website known as the www.deliverytracker.gov.gh. That's the website address. This is a novelty. The infrastructure data, when you get to this website, can be obtained either by sector. So if you want infrastructure data, what we are doing in education, health, agriculture, you can find that. You can get that by that. Or if you want to go by region, I want to know what is happening in Oti, I want to know what is happening in Northeast, or Volta, or Ashanti. You can search by that as well. Or you can go by district. I want to know what is happening in my district. So if I go to Nandom, I can tell what is happening. All right? I go to Sekendi, Takrady, I can tell from this website what government is doing. As the name implies, Delivery Tracker is a portal where you can track the status of delivery of government promises and also infrastructure projects. It will enhance transparency and accountability in governance. It will also enable government to monitor all infrastructure projects to ensure that uncompleted projects are prioritized in the process of capital budget. The portal is a living portal, so it is going to be regularly updated. As far as we know, Ghana is the only country in Africa that has implemented this publicly accessible delivery tracker for its infrastructure projects. No other country has done so. I would like to note that we have not applied standardized units for counting the projects. For example, you may have one project that constructs 120 units of apartments. That will be one project. There will be another project that is constructing 25 units of apartments. That is also one project. Right? We have not tried to standardize those units, though we counted as two projects. But what we want people to focus on is the particular projects and their details so that we can monitor how these projects are being delivered. It's not just the count alone. The process of adding pictures and digital addresses to all these projects is ongoing. I will demonstrate the use of this portal later on in this talk. That said, kindly let me present to you a summary of the various key infrastructure programs that we have implemented across every region of Ghana. And of course, given the focus, the constraints of time, I'll focus on a few sectors: roads, agriculture, industry, sports, sea defense, the airports, fish landing sites, security, and so on. So these projects, all these projects that I'm going to talk about, unless of course I say so explicitly, are in the database, on the delivery tracker database. So let's look at the summary of the national infrastructure that we have delivered. And you can see the amount of work that is going on. Since 2017, we have initiated 17,334 infrastructure projects in this country. Of these, we have completed 8,746, and there's 8,588 ongoing. And you see them allocated from agriculture, education, infrastructure, energy, health infrastructure, housing, industrial infrastructure, market infrastructure, railway infrastructure, roads, safety and security, water and sanitation, youth and development. Over the last 3.5 years, we've implemented these programs across all of these sectors. And all of these 17,334 projects are individually captured in the database. So you can see each of them when you look at this. This is consistent with our strategic orientation to ensure the development of a broad-based, wide-scale infrastructure taking place in every district across the country, instead of a few big infrastructure projects in a few cities. So let me now turn to the sectoral discussions. So we look at road infrastructure. Improvement of the road infrastructure has been a major priority for this government. On the assumption of office, we were met with protests across the country about the poor state of the road network. I'm sure all of you are aware of all those protests people had across the country. We have implemented several initiatives to improve the road network in the country and to enhance economic activities of citizens, to improve access and living conditions of our people. And this year, the President has dubbed it the Year of Roads. In fact, if you look at the road projects, the road sector, we are implementing 1,927 road projects. We've completed 1,307, and 620 are ongoing. If you look at bridges, you see that the Bailey, steel, and concrete bridges, we have 79 that we are constructing. We have completed 46 bridges, and you saw the ones in Garou and so on being shown in the video. We are also ongoing, 33 bridges are ongoing. 44 cocoa roads are ongoing, 216 feeder roads, completed 138. Footbridges, 135 are being constructed. We've completed 117 of footbridges. So there's been a lot of road construction taking place across the country. In the urban areas, we've got 589 kilometers of asphaltic overlay and rehabilitating 143 kilometers, reconstructing 97 kilometers. We are also constructing 4 state-of-the-art interchanges. We have the Tema interchange, where the loan, the salt cutting, and the completion were executed by this government. We have the Tamale interchange under the Sino-Hydro program. This is the first ever interchange in the 5 northern regions of Ghana, and it's at 44% completion. Then we have the Pokwasi interchange. This is a 4-tier interchange in West Africa. It's the first 4-tier interchange in West Africa. The first. That's the Pokwasi interchange. The loan agreement for this project was signed in November 2016 for a 3-tier interchange. When we came into office, we looked at it from a value for money perspective, renegotiated it for a 4-tier interchange for the same amount of money. For the same amount of money. We have the Obechebi-Lamte interchange, which is 55% complete. And I just cut the sword for the construction of the Nungwa interchange, which is yet to really start. But this is the highest number of interchanges, that is 5, that are being constructed in the first term of any government since independence. This is the highest number. But we are not finished. A 6th interchange, the PTC interchange in Takoradi, which will be the first interchange in the Western region, we will cut the sword next month for the start of that work under the Sino-Hydro project. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to note that the cost of the Tema, Tamale, Pokwasi, and Obechebi-Lamte interchanges is $289 million. 4 interchanges. Together, $289 million. While the cost of the Kwame Nkrumah interchange was contracted at $260 million. So you have 4 major interchanges: Tema, Pokwasi, Tamale, and Obechebi-Lamte, for $289 million, and 1 Kwame Nkrumah circle at $260 million. I'll just leave that for you to ponder. Ladies and gentlemen, we are constructing 17 steel concrete footbridges. As I've said, 46 of them have been completed. And we are selecting for every region 3 critical roads, and we are constructing them at the moment as we speak. And they are at various stages of completion, including the famous Eastern Corridor Road. For example, the Jasikan to Dodo Pepesu Road is ongoing under the Sino-Hydro facility. Bolga-Boko Road is about 80% complete, and the Laura-Hamile Road has been completed. So there's road construction going on in every part of this country. In fact, under the previous government, for example, after 8 years in office, they couldn't complete 1 major road in either Upper West, Upper East, or Western North today regions. 1 major road, right? Before the end of this year, by the grace of God, Upper West, you will have already got the Laura to Hamile Road. We will complete the Bolga to Boko Road for Upper East, and what we would have done in 4 years would have been more than what they would have done in 8 years in those regions. One of the major constraints, ladies and gentlemen, to our agricultural productivity is inadequate infrastructure in the areas of irrigation facilities, warehouses, storage facilities, and so on. To support the Planting for Food and Jobs program, government has put in place significant infrastructure over the last 3.5 years. The dams that have been constructed, irrigation projects, warehouses. And the government has embarked, as you saw in the video, on the construction of at least 80 warehouses under the One District, One Warehouse program. There are another 20 that the Ministry of Agriculture is building to make them 100 warehouses. And these are 1,000 metric ton warehouses throughout the country. And these warehouses are equipped with dryers, laboratories, and solar power, which are directly under the One District, One Warehouse initiative. When completed, the program will provide about 100,000 metric tons of storage capacity across the country. And communities like Ejura, Tebubu, Tamale, Sandema, Boko Kusuga, Yendi, Fifupraso, Sefi Bakwai Esinam, Joaboso, and so on. There are 100 places that are going to benefit from these, and that is a very significant infrastructure development for us, because storage was a major problem. Government has also established 3 greenhouse training centers with commercial components, such as a 5-hectare piece of land at Dawenya, Akumadan, and Bojoasi. At the end of 2019, the 3 centers have together trained 296 graduates in greenhouse vegetable production. In addition, a total of 180 graduates have been targeted for training in 2020. So we've had 100 greenhouses constructed, and you saw from the video that they're going to change a lot in the agricultural sector. So the MPP government is implementing a holistic plan to provide farmers and households access to water for all year-round farming. Under the plan, we have 3 components. We have the One Village, One Dam, or the Small F Dam program. And yes, as you saw from the video, the small F dams, the small dams, are nowhere near Akosombo Dam in size and reach. But they are the practical response to the needs of the people and their realities on the ground. The documentary that was shown earlier shows the impact of these small F dams and the appreciation of the beneficiaries in all constituencies in the 5 northern regions where they have been completed, including, I must add, the district of Bole, where they are very happy about. We have awarded 560 of these contracts for these small F dams. To date, we have constructed 435 dams, 372 have been completed, and 63 are ongoing. And each dam is expected to provide water for up to 5 hectares of land. And completion of this project will deliver the largest stock of small F dams ever constructed in this country. The largest stock. And each small F dam contains 30,000 cubic meters of water when full, and this is enough to survive a greater part of the average dry season in any year. When you hear some of our opponents saying that these dams cannot be used for irrigation, you wonder what they mean. Across the world and many regions in Ghana, farmers do irrigation using different systems. For example, the people of Angloga Keta area have produced shallots in the dry season using tube wells as their source of water for irrigation. Farmers in Bono East region and in all the northern regions have always produced vegetables in the dry season using water from small dugouts they create in riverbeds to extract water. Again, a lot of people today are pumping water from boreholes into plastic storage tanks for use on irrigation in the dry season. The amount of water, the amount of irrigable land the One Village, One Dam policy provides is over 12,000 hectares, which is almost equal to the total public irrigable land currently available in Ghana. It's a major increase in irrigable land. Ladies and gentlemen, President Akufo-Addo has further demonstrated his commitment to addressing the irrigation deficit in the country by working so hard to commence work on the Pualugu multi-purpose dam, an irrigation project, which has the capacity to increase the size of Ghana's irrigable land by about 24,000 hectares from the current 12,980 hectares we've had since independence. Upon the completion of the Pualugu Dam, it will be the single largest public investment in irrigation since independence, and also the single largest infrastructure investment in the northern regions of Ghana since independence. So in addition to this, a total of 7,141 hectares of land are being developed for various irrigation systems. These include the Tammany Phase 1 and 2, Improvement Phase 1 and 2, rehabilitation and expansion of existing schemes at Tono, Pong irrigation schemes, Pong left bank irrigation scheme. So we have a holistic approach to irrigation. You provide the small irrigation dams, you provide the medium ones like Tono and Pong and so on, and the large ones like the Balugu multi-purpose dam. And that all these together will be transformation as far as agriculture is concerned in Ghana. Now we move to healthcare. Our investment in health infrastructure is trying to respond to several challenges. How to make it easy for every community to access healthcare without having to travel miles. How to provide state-of-the-art hospitals in every district in this country. How to ensure efficient delivery of emergency services across the country, and how to leverage technology to digitally transform healthcare delivery in Ghana. If you look at the data, since coming into office, the NPP government has embarked on numerous infrastructure development in the health sector. We've awarded contracts for the construction of 429 CHIPS compounds in rural communities. 243 of the CHIPS compounds have been completed and commissioned and are in use, and 186 are ongoing. We are constructing 55 maternity blocks, and wards are being constructed at different health facilities across the country. 36 have been completed, and 19 are at various stages of completion. Some of the completed projects are in communities, including Eduman in Afija Kwabre, Frimpong Manso in the Tiwa district, Boko Central, Aveyime, the North Thong district, Danladi in the Kwanta North, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, in collaboration with the private sector, we have delivered the first ever infectious disease center in Ghana. And this was constructed within 100 days and has since been commissioned for use. To improve delivery of essential services at deprived and remote communities across Ghana, in collaboration with Zipline, we have constructed 4 drone centers at Omeneko in the eastern region, Vopsi in the northeast region, Mampong in Ashanti, and Sefiwioso in the western region. At the end of June 2020, 79,800 medical products have been delivered to 945 health facilities by drones. And all these deliveries, when a drone is called in, it means there is a critical matter at stake. A life is about to be lost, and we need the blood urgently, we need the snake venom serum urgently, or we need the drip urgently. But when you call in, so all these 79,800 products, you can really think of it as lives that are being saved. And that is the impact of this drone project. And in addition, it has delivered over 2,500 COVID-19 samples to testing centers in Accra and Kumasi. As you know, as part of our health infrastructure, we have equipped the National Ambulance Service. At the time the MPP came into government, the National Ambulance Service had 55 semi-functional ambulances in the country. Semi-functional, I'm being a little generous. And these 55 semi-functional ambulances were serving over 30 million people, which translates into a ratio of 1 ambulance for 550,000 people. An attempt by the previous government to procure 70 ambulances resulted in the shipment of 30 Sprinter buses without equipment into the country. Now, not surprising, one of the key outcomes of the constituency needs assessment that we undertook revealed the need for ambulances in every constituency. People who otherwise could have lived rather lost their lives because of the inability to get to hospitals on time to receive emergency treatment while on their way to hospitals, especially pregnant women. In line with the commitment to revamp the emergency service delivery in the country under the $1 million one constituency, 307 well-equipped state-of-the-art ambulances have been procured and managed by the National Ambulance Service, with each constituency being allocated at least one ambulance. Currently, there is no constituency in the country without a state-of-the-art functional ambulance. This initiative has led to an improvement of the citizen-to-ambulance ratio from one ambulance to 550,000 people to one ambulance to 98,000 people. And this is a very significant improvement, and we will work, of course, to do more. Ladies and gentlemen, contrary to propaganda, in addition to what we have done, that we have shown you in the data, in addition to that, we have also completed several health projects that we inherited from the previous government. Out of 30 infrastructure projects that we inherited from the previous government in the health sector, we have completed 16 of them, including 10 polyclinics, 2 district hospitals. There's also ongoing construction of another 9 district hospitals. So if you look at what we have completed, the polyclinic at BCRC, at Gomoa, Daurompong, Ekumfi, Noakwa, Birouan, the polyclinic at Esi Sunkwa, Bimpong Eja, and then Gomoa as well, Jamera, Mankron, Akomfodi, and all of these have been completed. We completed the upgrading, the ongoing upgrading of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. We completed the ongoing construction of the offices of the Ministry for Health and Regulatory Bodies. We completed the Ga East Municipal Hospital. When we came, it wasn't quite completed. We completed, and so on. So we have the data to show very clearly, and therefore it cannot be the case that we abandon projects that we inherited. It's in our interest to complete them. So we've completed 16 out of 30, and we are continuing and going to complete the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, I now turn to water and sanitation. The government's Water for All agenda meant to accelerate the provision of adequate, safe, and affordable water in rural and urban communities. That's what it's meant to do. It is estimated that the current interventions that we are making will bring water to the doorsteps of an additional 5 million people and put us in pole position to meeting our SDG target for water by 2030. And water-related and sanitation projects that we have undertaken include boreholes, mechanized water systems, and solar-powered small water systems, small town water systems, water extension projects, and toilet facilities. If you look at the data, you will see that we have implemented 5,505 projects, infrastructure projects in water and sanitation. Out of this, we've completed 1,878, and we have ongoing 3,627. Now, some of the specifics in terms of what we have done may be enlightening. If you look at the Greater Accra Metropolitan Water and Sanitation Project, under this project, 282 kilometers length of distribution and service pipelines have been laid, and this project has improved access to potable water to over 420,000 people, equivalent to 85,000 households in the country. Beneficiary communities for this particular project are from Teshi, Lungua, Glefe, Mamponse, Choko, and so on. Many communities have benefited from the Greater Accra Water and Metropolitan Water and Sanitation Project. You have the Upper East Water Supply Project, which is which is ongoing, 59% complete, which is serving about 180,000 people. And beneficiary communities include Bolgatanga, Navrongo, Bongo, Zoarungu, Gia, Paga, and its environments. And this is very, very important. You have the Sustainable Rural Water Supply Project. And under this Sustainable Rural Water Supply Project, 23 small town water systems and 280 boreholes are under construction in 11 regions in the country. And we are constructing these in Bronsanko, Asiri, Jankufa, Prang, and Dotoba in the Bono East, Bono and Ahafo regions, Walewale, Gambaga, Naleru, Bushebu, Saboba, Chereponi, Yape within the northern, northeast, and Savannah regions, Asempanaye, Osei-Kojokrom water systems in the western and western north regions, and we are rehabilitating the Lambusie, Hamile, and Hapa water systems, 250 boreholes under construction at the Fiama Busie, Laura, Sisala West, Nandom, and Jirapa districts, all in the Upper West. We're drilling 30 boreholes for the development of fluoride-prone communities in Bongo and in the Upper East region. If you go to the central region, you're seeing community water systems put in place, Esachirman, Do, Abasa, Oponsta, Esiam, Gomoa, Irisi, so many of these communities. In fact, they are being connected to the Ghana Water Company lines. And 184,000 people in 146 communities in the central region are benefiting from this project. And from the interventions we've made in the central region alone, this has increased the water coverage from a region of 63.8% to 70% within the last 3 years. We are also rehabilitating and expanding 151 small town piped water systems across this country. Some of the systems that have been rehabilitated are in Vaku, Taviefe, Akachi in the Volta region, Mim in the Bono region, Mansung Kwanta, Mansu Apyadie, Joabeng, Senieja in the Ashanti region. So we are doing a lot in water, as the data shows. Ladies and gentlemen, most of the toilets in the data that we have just seen, that we in the table, are toilets that have been built under the One Constituency, 1 Million project that the development authorities are doing. But that is not the end of the story. The Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources is also overseeing the implementation of additional projects under the government's Toilets for All policy. And given that the data was received quite late, we haven't entered all of that data in the database. But it is worth mentioning. We have about 6 projects under the Toilets for All policy. The Greater Accra Metropolitan Water and Sanitation Project, where under this we have built 28,485 household toilets. Then you have the Sustainable Rural Water and Sanitation Project, where 12,972 toilets have been built. Then there's ongoing construction of 5,000 under the Greater Accra Sustainable Sanitation and Livelihood Improvement Project, the GASLIP project. 5,000 toilets are being built there. The Government of Ghana Household Toilet Program, we're building 1,900 toilets there. And Rural Sanitation Model and Strategy Program, 40,348 toilets, serving 3,000 communities. And then under the Urban Sanitation Pilot Project, 21,332. So under the Toilets for All program, at least 109,000 household toilets have been constructed, benefiting 856,000 people. This is quite remarkable. Quite remarkable. So if you look at this, the population, the data shows that the population with access to toilet facilities has increased from 14% in 2017 to 21% by 2019. And because of all of this investment that has been made in the toilet infrastructure, 5,498 communities have been declared open defecation free. 5,498. This is very remarkable. And yesterday, the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources drew my attention because of the investment in water and in sanitation in all of these stories. Says, have you heard that we've had cholera in the last 3.5 years? No, we haven't had cholera. Thankfully, we will not have cholera because of improvements in water and sanitation. Now, to spur local economic growth, ladies and gentlemen, we've initiated the construction of 470 market-related infrastructure, including market complexes and rural markets, which come with storage facilities, mechanized boreholes, and other ancillary facilities. Abattoirs, market sheds, and lockable market stores are also being provided. So far, 276 of these market infrastructure have been completed, while 194 are at different stages of completion. And these come with storage facilities, as I have said. And some of the beneficiary communities of the market infrastructure are in Salayele, in the Salaga North constituency, Asumarai, in the Asumafo North constituency, Drobo, in German South constituency, and many, many others. In addition, construction has started on the first phase works of the redevelopment of the Mankesim Market Complex and the Dome Market. And both projects are expected to be completed in 2021. Now I come to industry. Ladies and gentlemen, under the One District, One Factory program, 183 companies are currently benefiting from the One District, One Factory initiative, out of which 61 are existing companies. The 1D, 1F doesn't only deal with new companies. If you are an existing company and you need a capital injection to expand, you can benefit from the incentives of the 1D, 1F. So don't say that, oh, I know this company is already been in existence, so it cannot count. No, if it has come for support through the 1D, 1F, it will be counted. So out of the 183 companies, 61 are existing companies, while 122 are new companies. To date, 48 of the existing company projects have been completed and are operational. Of the 122 new companies, 28 are completed, whilst 31 are at various stages of completion. In addition, 58 special youth-enabled 1D, 1F projects have common user processing factories with financing from the African Development Bank, and these are under construction. And some of the new 1D, 1F projects completed currently include the Agricultural, Industrial, and Commercial Products, AICP Limited, D United Foods Industry Limited, Ekumfi Fruit Processing Company, Glufed Ghana Limited, Golden Africa Consumer Products, Ghana Limited, and Golden Milan Limited. There have also been various support provided for industrial parks and special economic zones across the country, including Adawa, Apollonia, Tema-Free Zones, Enclave, and so on. And under the 1D, 1F program, the German car manufacturer Volkswagen has opened a car assembly plant in Ghana as we speak, and they've started producing cars. So the process of industrialization and the framework that we've adopted is yielding a lot of fruit. And all of this infrastructure that you are seeing, the industrial infrastructure, as a result of the government incentives that are being given. Housing, ladies and gentlemen, in the area of housing, the focus has been on the provision of housing for public and civil servants, such as teachers and nurses and the security services, and also public housing projects under the State Housing Corporation. If we count the housing projects that government is undertaking, we have a total of 1,229 housing projects that have been undertaken, with 232 completed and 997 ongoing. State Housing Corporation, which was struggling just a few years ago, has been dramatically transformed and building homes for Ghanaians across the country. What is remarkable is that it has used internally generated funds. That means State Housing Corporation has not taken a loan for the last 3 years. They've used their own funds to be expanded. And they have many projects across the country and across many regions. In Upper West, they have a housing project going 55% complete. Central region, they have 3 projects going between 80 and 90% complete. Eastern region, they have 1 project going of 6,000 units, 60% complete. Upper East, 1 project, 20% complete. Ashanti, they have 2 projects, 120 housing units, which is 40% complete, and another 2 housing units, which has been completed. Bron, again, 70% complete. And Northern region, they have 3 projects going, between 21 is complete at the airport estate in Sanargo, as well as you have the construction of 8 housing units in Zosgo, which is 40% complete. In Western region, the Sekendi Ituma Estate project, 13 housing units, 75% completed. In Sefi, we also, again, 500 housing units, which is 20% complete. Greater Accra, there are about 4 major projects, 32 housing units, 24 housing units, 12 housing units, 16 housing units, and they are between 20, 40, 80%, and 95% complete. So we are doing a lot in the area of housing, even though we know there's still a lot more to do. But the data is quite solid in this area. We will continue to move. Then I move to sport. A total, ladies and gentlemen, of 68 sports infrastructure projects have been undertaken since 2017. And 12 have been completed and 56 are ongoing. One of the key projects that we are doing in the housing area is the construction of 10 5,000-seater youth and sports centers of excellence in 10 regions of the country. And these are at various stages of completion. In fact, many are near completion. Kaneshi in Greater Accra, Ho in the Volta region, Koforidua in Eastern, Axim in the Western region, Yinahin in Ashanti, Dunkwalfin in Central, Doma in Bono, Mavrongo in Upper East, Yendi in Northern, and Wa in Upper West. The Accra Sports Stadium, which has not been renovated in a decade, has now been renovated. Renovation works at the Esopon and the Kumasi Sports Stadia have also commenced, and work has resumed on the construction of the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, a project that was started by the MPP government in 2004 and then abandoned by the previous government. We've also completed, or we are continuing the construction of at least 29 astroturfs in several communities across the country, including Medina, Chebi, Dompin, Pepesa, Intakwa, and Soran, Menshia, Odan, Wale, Fadama. They are all getting astroturfs, and more will become. As you saw, the area of sea defense, we've commenced sea defense projects in Axim, Amanfo, Kuma, Komenda, Cape Coast, Elmina, and Anumabo. These are ongoing. They've started. But we also completed a number of sea defense programs that we inherited. Again, this is to say that we are not abandoning projects that we've inherited, right? So, Abuazi, Ajua, Blekosu, Niltakradi, Nkontompo. So that's a rather interesting. So if anybody tells you we have abandoned, it must be in Kontum. So, ladies and gentlemen, ports and fish landing sites. Where the Takoradi Port Expansion Project is progressing steadily. A multi-purpose container terminal commenced in 2019, and a dry bulk jetty is almost complete. The construction of the Jamestown Harbour has also started. And we are also constructing 10 fish landing sites at Zim, Dixco, Senyabreku, Gomwafete, Mori, Mumford, Teshi, Winneba, Elmina, and Kita. And these are all ongoing. Airports, we have, as I said, construction of the Kumasi Phase 2 and 3 International Airport is 90% complete. We are rehabilitating the Sunyani Airport, and the construction of the Phase 3 of the Tamale Airport is 30% complete. Now we go to railways, and this is the baby of my good friend Joe Gatti. Major transformation is taking place in the railway sector. The whole sector has been rejuvenated. We have major projects which are ongoing and forthcoming, but we are focusing on the ones which we have done. We've completed the rehabilitation of the Accra-Tema railway line, which is 30 kilometers, the Chimota and Sawam, another 33 kilometers, and the Kojokro-Takwa, which is a 56 kilometer, and these are narrow gauge lines, and we have done that. We've begun the construction of a new standard gauge western line, which is Takoradi to Kumasi. Now, the standard gauge, as the Minister for Railways tells us, is New Testament. That what we've been doing since the colonial times is Old Testament. Now we are in the New Testament, and we are beginning a new standard gauge construction on the western line. The Kojokrom to Mansu section is 22 kilometers, and which is ongoing. Then we have a railway training school in Sekendi, which is complete, and this is going to be the basis for what we want to build, which is the Railway University in Sekendi. The Tema and Pakadan railway line is 97 kilometers, it's ongoing, and approximately 56 kilometers of the track lane has been completed. So we are really on course in the railway sector, and so much is happening. In the area of security, we've undertaken 180 projects, completed 103, and 77 are ongoing. Fire service posts, 22 undertaken, 17 completed, 5 ongoing, and then the 28 municipal district and divisional command buildings for the police and fire service, we've completed 20 of them, 8 are ongoing. Police posts and security posts, 35 have been undertaken, 22 have been completed, 13 ongoing. 73 police stations are being constructed, we've completed 29, and 44 are ongoing. Staff accommodation for security services, we have 21 projects, and 14 have been completed, and 7 are ongoing. In addition, a major project for the defense of our oil resources, which is the forward operating naval base, is under construction in Ezilibo in the western region. So in addition to this, we've provided 740 vehicles and 3 helicopters to the Ghana Police Service since 2017. 190 vehicles to the Ghana Immigration Service and 138 operational vehicles to the Ghana Armed Forces. So this is major. You look at the infrastructure we are providing the security services is clearly major. Our next focus is going to be on prisons and fire to really retool those services as we go forward. In the energy sector, we have been saddled with an excess capacity as a result of power purchase agreements that are costing the government about $1 billion a year for electricity that we have not consumed. $1 billion that we pay free to somebody for electricity we don't need. that we haven't consumed. Can you think of what you can do with $1 billion every year? Huh? Joe, if I gave you $1 billion for your sector every year, that would be serious transformation. You reach Burkina very quickly. You reach Burkina very quickly. But just think about it, $1 billion a year, because someone has signed agreements saying that even if we don't use the power, we'll have to pay for it. And this is what we have been saddled with. And a lot of this money could have been used for other infrastructure. So our focus has been on trying to get something in the area of renewable energy and extending electricity to rural communities and also improving the transmission and distribution. In the area of electricity extension, we have extended electricity to a total, we are trying to extend electricity to a total of 3,844 communities. We have extended to 2,824, that is completed, and ongoing is 1,020. We've also undertaken a major infrastructure development in the area of the West African gas pipeline, where we've constructed the reverse flow for the West African gas pipeline that enables essentially our gas assets in the west of the country to be used by our plants which are in the east of the country. So this is a major reverse flow that we have done. We are also implementing the following. We've completed 19 substations, and 9 substations are going on, and 2 bulk supply points are also ongoing. And you know, that is quite major. The Bokwasi bulk supply point is 75% complete. Kasua bulk supply point is 35% complete, and the substation at Kanda is 31% complete. Same with that at Lego. In addition to this, the following transmission system improvement projects that were inherited from the previous government were also completed to improve operational reliability. The 161 to 33 kV Accra Central Gas Insulated Substation Project, the 161 33 kV Afienya Substation Project, the 330 kV Pristia Kumasi Power Enhancement Project, the 330 kV Kumasi Bolgatanga Transmission Project, the 330 kV Abuazi Pristia Transmission Project. In addition, the 225 kV Bolgatanga Ouagadougou Interconnection Project, which is a component of the West African Power Pool Interzonal Transmission Hub Project, was completed, and it's currently facilitating the export of power from Ghana to Burkina Faso. So we have done quite a bit in doing our projects as well as completing what we inherited. I now turn to education. The infrastructure investment in the education sector, ladies and gentlemen, is massive. We have undertaken a total, or we are undertaking a total of 2,699 projects in the education sector since we came into office. Of these projects, 1,253 have been completed and 1,446 are ongoing. In the area of senior high school projects, for example, we have completed 448 of these projects. And I must add that if you look at the E-blocks that a lot of noise is being made about, it's very important to note that by 2016, by the end of 2016, the previous government had constructed 29 E-blocks. I think they started with a goal of 200, right? By the end of 2016, they had constructed 29 E-blocks. So we came in, since being in office between 2017 and 2019, we've completed 27 E-blocks. Right? So there's no sense that we are coming in and abandoning projects left, right, and center. We inherited Somanya University project. of course, at a very low stage, but it has now been completed, again, to make that point. Ladies and gentlemen, I now move on to the regional and distribution and district distribution of our infrastructure. Historically, the provision of infrastructure has been concentrated in the big cities to the exclusion of the deprived and rural communities who lack basic infrastructure. With our core policy to leave no district or constituency behind, we have steadily ensured that every constituency or district benefits from some infrastructure project. To ensure equitable and inclusive growth, the provision of infrastructure, amenities or facilities should not be dictated narrowly by our politics. Every community, district, and region deserves expanded opportunities for growth and improvements in their standard of living. It should not be for government or politicians to decide on the sharing of infrastructure amenities on the basis of tribal, ideological, and political preferences. So to accomplish this infrastructure for all strategy, we have implemented several policy initiatives. These include the one constituency, $1 million. So it doesn't matter which constituency and which region it is, you will get that allocation. One village, one dam. One constituency, one ambulance. One district, one factory. One district, one warehouse. And the Zongo Development Fund. So these are all vehicles that we have put in place to ensure equitable distribution of infrastructure. So ladies and gentlemen, let me now demonstrate how our delivery tracker portal works. So now I'll provide you examples of infrastructure across the country from a few regions and districts. So when you get into the portal, this is the infrastructure portal. It will tell you we have 17,334 projects. We've completed 8,746, ongoing 8,588. Now you may want to search and find out what it is that we have done in the various regions. So you can say Greater Accra, what infrastructure has been provided in Greater Accra. So you go in and then you put Greater Accra and then it will tell you. Greater Accra, we have 1,186 projects, 699 completed, and 487 are ongoing, right? So if you look at Greater Accra, you could say, okay, let me go to Lejokuku and let me see what is in Lejokuku, right? I want to go and see in the district what is in Lejokuku. So they can go to Lejokuku. 42 projects in total, 17 completed, 25 ongoing. Let me see the project. So you will see all these projects that are taking place in Lejokuku. So you can scroll down and we will know what's ongoing construction of all these projects in Lejokuku. So this is Lejokuku in Greater Accra. Now I can go to Central Region. For example, let's take Central Region. Go to Central Region and let's see what projects are in Central Region. Central Region, 1,100. So let's see the projects. Scroll down. So you'll know. You will see all these 1,000 projects and they are static, right? So you will see it all. You will see it all. Now, okay, let's go to, I know, let's go to, go to Gomoa East. Go to Gomoa East, let's see what they have. We have in the Gomoa East, in Central. Right? You apply. 37 projects in Gomoa East. And so, I don't know, do we have any pictures for Gomoa East? Let's see what is good. Then you'll see what is happening. So you see the projects that are going, some are not yet completed, and all of that. So you'll get a good sense of what it is. So you get a sense of how the thing works. Let's go to Savannah region. Savannah region. You see, so you can all regions, all districts in the country. So you go to Savannah, we have what, 65 projects taking place, 606 completed, 159. So let me see the projects. So you can go through across all and see all of them. Okay? Fine. Go to Bowling. Bowling district. 66 projects, 31 completed, 31 ongoing. Let's see the projects. Let's see the project. So, quite a lot of projects. We are not discriminating. These are the pictures from Bowling. You will see them, which is very good. Okay? All right. So, let's go to Western region. Western, let's apply for Western. So 671 projects, 124 completed, 547 ongoing. Now, I want to go to Sekendi. My good friend Joe Gata is here. He would like to see what is going on. Sekendi Takrady, sorry. Okay. Sekendi Takrady, let's see what we have. 231 projects, 83 complete. Let's see the projects. You have a lot of projects. Keep going down. Wow. I think he will be retained as the Member of Parliament for Secondary. Do you have pictures for Secondary? There you are. They are quite big projects. Okay. Okay, let me see Volta region. And some of these projects, because of the one constituency, 1 million. If you have more constituencies, you have more projects, and so on. So you have 650 projects, 361 completed, 289. Let's see the projects. So you go through and be able to. There's a demand for K2 South. Let us see. K2 South. Okay. Let's see. 23 projects, 7 completed, 16 ongoing. Let's see the project. Okay. So, this is what is going on. Are there any pictures? That's right. So, so for every district that you have in the country, once you go to deliverytracker.gov.gh, you put in your district, you know what is going on. And this will allow us to keep government, what is happening to this project, and then we can monitor what is happening across. So this is very, very key in terms of where we are going. I would also want to mention that infrastructure today in this world of digitization is no longer just brick and mortar, right? We are talking about soft infrastructure, and we are talking about digital infrastructure. This is the New Testament, as Joe would say. And the world is changing, and digitization has come, and we are, for the last 3.5 years, we've been embarking on a major process of digitizing this country and putting in place the critical soft digital infrastructure, which is going to transform this country. So we are doing the national ID card. So far, about 14 million cards people have been enrolled. We expect it to reach 16 million in the not too distant future. It's going to be key. The digital property addressing system has been put in place. The mobile money interoperability, the first of its kind in Africa, has been put in place, which has made Ghana the fastest growing mobile market in Africa. It's in place, and it has given people access to banking services. The universal QR code has been put in place, and it will be launched in terms of rolled out for general use very soon, where these market sellers don't need a point of sale device to be able to receive money. They just receive it on their mobile phone and go. But given the payment system infrastructure that has been put in place over the last 3.5 years, Ghana today has one of the most advanced payment system architectures in the world. Not just Africa, but the world. We may not recognize it, but that is in fact the case. And the infrastructure has enabled us to achieve financial inclusion, as well as placed us in the position to go cashless and to formalize this economy very, very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, the investment in infrastructure by the MPP government over the last 3.5 years has been massive. These projects, as I said, can be found on the website, the Delivery Tracker website, and the portal also contains a picture gallery of various projects. With the introduction of the Delivery Tracker website, we have introduced a new dimension of transparency and accountability in the governance of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding the impact of COVID-19 on the completion times of some projects, the data indicates that in the Fourth Republic, no government has achieved as much in its first term of office in terms of infrastructure projects it initiated in that first term as the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo. No government. Our opponents are welcome to show us what they accomplished by way of infrastructure initiated in their first term of office. They are welcome. They should bring the data, and we will interrogate. This is because virtually all the key projects that they point to were completed in their second term. We are, however, happy to compare our 3.5-year record with their 8-year record in the area of infrastructure. In many communities across this country, the data will show that the infrastructure we have provided in many districts over the last 3.5 years surpasses what they provided in 8 years to those districts. But what is most important to note and most interesting to note is that we have done all this while actually spending less on infrastructure as a percentage of our GDP. We have done more by spending less. And that means what? We have more value for money. That is what it is. Also, contrary to the propaganda, the evidence is that we have also completed and we are working to complete many projects that our government inherited. We have also put in place a solid base of digital infrastructure to propel the digital economy of Ghana. And ladies and gentlemen, I also like to note that we are not just building infrastructure. As for building infrastructure, anybody can build infrastructure. We are not just building infrastructure. We are building a nation. We are building a nation. We are building all this infrastructure while staying committed to our social contract of providing free senior high school education, creating jobs, transforming agriculture, industrializing the economy, sustaining the National Health Insurance Scheme, digitizing the economy, ensuring public safety of Ghanaians, and keeping the lights on. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is bright if we stay the course. That is why we are asking the good people of Ghana to give Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP 4 more to do more for you. May God bless you, and may God bless our homeland Ghana.